1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Let's do the motherfucker.
I am very pleased to announce the kickoff of our mayoral campaign, which will be held May 25th at the Holiday Inn University on Central Avenue. This event will be held between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. We are inviting all Memphians to come out. On this occasion, I will share my vision for Memphis. I will also give you an overview of my platform. I'm sure you are aware that our great city is not at a good place, and we need a turnaround. And I want to share with you how we can begin to move Memphis forward. I want to engage the community in my vision and with my platform. So please join us on May 25th at the Holiday Inn University between 6 and 8 p.m. We have turned Memphis around before, and we can do it again. Let's do it again.
Tractor Supply Company presents the second annual Rootless Riders Southern Soul Rodeo, Saturday, May the 20th. There's also going to be a huge parade downtown Tunica at 3 p.m., starting at the River Gate Park. Show starts at 7 p.m., doors open at 6 p.m. Advance tickets available online at Ticketmasters by searching Southern Soul Rodeo. Kids tickets, $12. Adults, $20. At the door, kids are $15. Adults, $25. Book your rooms right now at our host hotel, Fitz Casino Tunica in Robinsonville, Mississippi, 711 Lucky Lane. Call at 662-363-LUCK. That's 662-363-5825. Discount code is 23 Riders. That's RYDER. Get your tickets. Be there next Saturday on the 20th.
Greenwood, Mississippi. It's the third annual Down Home Blues Music Festival and Old Fashioned Fish Fry. Saturday, June 10th. Flowood River State Park in Greenwood. Starring Tucker, Sir Charles Jones, TK Soul, J1, Peter K. Diddy, Trey Wilker, Mr. Sid, Nathaniel Kimball, Isaac Lindsay, Norville Eccles, and more. The gates open at 11 a.m. Showtime's at 1 p.m. Your tickets are on sale now. VIP tickets are available. Tickets are available at all the usual outlets and on the web at ticketweb.com. The third annual Down Home Blues Music Festival and Old Fashioned Fish Fry. Be there.
LaVon, you told me that you've been suffering from erectile dysfunction for how many years?
Almost 10 years.
It hadn't been working properly for 10 whole years.
That's right.
Tell me what happened, man.
When I bought some of the Erectile coffee,
Yeah.
and they cured me.
Wait a minute. You bought some Erectile coffee, and the problem that you've had for 10 years
Went away.
was cured
It went away.
with one cup of coffee?
One cup.
How long did it take for you to feel the effects?
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
That's right.
And now you can have sex whenever you get ready.
That's right.
How did your wife feel when you took the Erectile?
Surprise.
10 whole years.
10 whole years.
So you're telling my audience that Erectile really works.
It really worked.
Yours wasn't working for 10 whole years correctly.
That's right.
And you took one cup of coffee,
One cup.
of the Erectile coffee,
Yeah.
and now it's working.
It's working.
You've been using these Viagra's.
Viagra, which I'm going to throw away now.
You're going to throw these Viagra's away.
Throw them away.
Was there any side effect?
Yeah, on that.
Side effects with Viagra. But did you have any side effects with the Erectile?
No whatsoever.
Would you recommend that any man that has an erectile dysfunction problem get him some Erectile?
I would advise them to do it now.
This man's not ashamed. He had a problem for 10 years having an erection. One cup of Erectile coffee and now he's a happy man. How many days will it last for you?
3 days.
You sure you done worked it for 3 days?
3 days.
3 days it worked for you?
That's right.
And you finna go and get yourself now, ain't you?
Still going strong.
Still going strong. That's Yvonne. And we're gonna make sure that you stay erect with Erectile.
Get it, y'all.
If your soldier won't study war no more, I mean your erection is dead. Well, for $10, go by Shop and Save, $14.99 South 3rd, and let it live once again.
He will let you know, yeah, yeah, what's Thaddeus? It's the Thaddeus Matthew Show. He's not afraid to tell the truth. He is the one that will inform you about all those jokers that are doing wrong. You cross the line and then it's on. Sometimes the other news don't get it right. They don't get it right. What Daddy does his homework every night. What's local news, world news, national news? He's gonna keep it tight. For the people he will fight. If you wanna know what's Thaddeus, if you wanna grow, ask Thaddeus, he will let you know, yeah, yeah, what's Thaddeus? It's the Thaddeus Matthew Show. He's not afraid to tell the truth. He is the one that will inform you about all those jokers that are doing wrong. You cross the line and then it's on. Sometimes the other news don't get it right. They don't get it right. What Daddy does his homework every night. What's local news, world news, national news? He's gonna keep it tight. For the people he will fight.
Oh, shit. Just when you thought it was safe, it ain't. It ain't. Oh, shit. Man, how y'all doing? A little late this evening. But it ain't first time I've been late, and will not be the last time. When I was downtown at the courthouse all day, and then when I got in, I had some technical issues. Guana, Africa is in the house. Okay. Oh, glad to have you here, brother. Okay. Well, the show title is Now at Waller Fruit Waller. I ain't got to hire a motherfucking place. In fact, you hire somebody, because you ain't gonna start tonight, and I'm gonna remove you from the show. You gone, brother. You gone. I hope that you've had a simply marvelous day. The marriage race is now on and popping. The Chancellor Joe Day, what was it? Jenkins, cleared everybody to be able to run. Van will be able to run, and so will Chef Floyd Bomber. And it's going to be a very interesting race. I think that before it gets over, it's going to be a very dirty race. I think it's going to get dirty. I think the mud is going to be slung. I think that characters are going to be talking about the other character. So get ready for a dirty race. I am. I'm looking for two things: a dirty race and to get paid. More so to get paid. As I explained to you last night, or maybe it was night before, I'm only in this game to get paid. If someone gets helped along the way, then my living shall not be in vain. But my primary reason for being here every evening, especially evenings when I don't feel like doing this, is to get paid. Okay? Monties. That's my thrill. That's what excites me. Monty. So I'm glad that you are here with me on this evening. Sunday morning, I will return at 10 o'clock for church services from the Naked Truth, Liberation, and Empowerment Ministries. Okay. I have to take about a nap today, so I'm a little frustrated. The court services were supposed to start at 10. They got delayed and 1 o'clock. Well, courts and judges do what they want to do. So they get healed. I mean, not healed. They did their thing. You know, I didn't even go on the radio this morning live. I was on the air, but it was a tape because I had planned to leave here about 8 o'clock to be downtown and rested for 10 o'clock court. I didn't do that. In fact, I didn't get out of here until 1 or 2 minutes after the hour of 10 o'clock on this morning, and went on to do what I needed to do. Okay. And I tell all of the politicians, I'm here to take all of y'all's money. That was one or two where it came nigh to me. They were concerned because you pushing Doc Harrington mighty hard. Doc done paid me. You other candidates ain't brought me no money. And if you don't bring me no money, I don't like you. I can't talk about you. I can't say nothing good about you, and you ain't been paid. Mm-mm. That wouldn't be business. I'm here to make some money. And I see too many of you all running that shouldn't be running no damn way. You got no following. People don't believe in you. So I don't really know what to say to many of you because I love God and then I love myself as myself. Uh, it came out pretty much in court the way that I thought it would. The $70,000-$80,000 that they're paying these lawyers, they could have really been doing it, getting some folk that knew how to do this to go out and do it. Knock on the doors, bring that person in. But no, y'all don't want to do that. Nope. All right. Interesting show tonight. Let's see what time is it. I am late. Ooh, almost 9 o'clock.
Power on. Connection successful.
Ooh. Mm.
Hello?
Van,
Yes, sir.
this is Thaddeus.
Yes, sir.
First of all, congratulations on moving to the next step in your bid for mayor of the city of Memphis.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That that hearing today, it was a little different. I know all three of the attorneys, your attorney, Daryl O'Neal and his daughter. Naturally, I knew Robert Spence, and I also knew Alan Wade. Now, what's your next step, man? I know Monday you will probably pull your petition. I'm sure you already have your signatures lined up.
Yes, sir.
Van, let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been in Binghamton?
Well, I purchased the house last September,
Okay.
and essentially during the freeze a couple of months later, over the winter time, the pipes burst. We had a water leak, so the floors were damaged. And then we went in to kind of do some more extensive work. We detected a gas leak as well. So that sort of set us back, and then the whole residence issue came up. So I had to divert my resources and attention to trying to see if I would even be in the race. So now that this is over today, I can focus back on the renovations and get everything where it needs to be. Obviously, we had to check to see, I mean, I know some people are very wealthy in the race, but I'm not one of them. So the resources shifted to try to defend this lawsuit. And so now that that's been a success, we can turn back to completing the renovations we started on.
The report came out, Van, about a month ago that you were living in a house that had, and you wasn't using no water. I said,
we cut the water off because of the leak. So I wasn't going to re-engage the water if the leak hadn't been fixed. The pipes burst during the freeze, and so the water had to be shut off.
Okay.
And again, I'm not going to run water and continue a leak. I mean, who would do that? And I've said that to whoever has asked. And when you say that, it's like, all right, well, why the water bill so low? Well, the water bill low because I can't use the water unless I plan on flooding the place out again.
So are you actually living in the house in Binghamton?
No, I mean, I'm renovating the house. I'm not living in the house day to day. And I'm getting the repairs done. And so I wanted to wait again until this lawsuit was finished. So I'm circling back now to get the repairs done and to get it to where it needs to be. But with the water leak and the gas leak, I really couldn't be in there if I wanted to.
So did the lawsuit prevent you or slow you down on raising capital for the mayor's race?
Yeah.
Okay.
It slowed down everything, which I think was the intent. The intent was to slow down fundraising, to slow down momentum. And so essentially, I think that's what that was part of the intent of some of those who wanted to sort of cherry pick who they wanted in the race, which is what this all came down to. And obviously, Dr. Harrington's name was thrown out there from time to time as one as well. And I know that he had a response to that, but whether you're talking Dr. Harrington, myself, Sheriff Bonner, I think Judge Joe Brown's name came up at one point, although we didn't hear much of his name throughout the litigation. But if you look at what was attempting to be done, all of these are, individuals who have some name ID in the community, and it seemed like there was a concerted effort to knock everybody out and to cherry pick who some individuals wanted to place on the ballot. So, and I think Alan Wade made a good point of that in some of his arguments.
Well, the arguments today, and like I said, while I know all three of the attorneys, I never heard them until today argue a case. And the arguments were just solid, okay? They were solid. As one that tries to know what's going on, there was a lot that the attorneys came up with that I was not aware of. And we went all the way back to the very first charter of Memphis that did not have anything in there that says that the mayor has to live in the, I think that was the one 1852?
Right.
Okay. You go back to the charter of 1852, there's nothing there that says that the mayor has to live in the city of Memphis for 5 years. Then we come up to 1966. There was nothing in that particular charter that says the same thing. So, when we listen to the attorneys argue this, and you as an attorney, I'm sure you appreciated the argument as well, that these guys were solid on point, that there was nothing in the charter that says that a person running for the office has to live there 5 years before. Now, I had always heard that you just had to live in the city of Memphis when you took office. So Van, when we look at you running, you're running against some strong names. You're running against Doc Harrison. He done won 5 times. He's won 5 times. Still got his base. You're running against the sheriff who has a base. Okay? Say what you want to say. Floyd Bonner has a base. When you look at Joe Brown, because I thought he lived in Germantown, which is not in the city of Memphis, he's got strong name recognition. And one of the things, when you come to cherry picking, it's been thought that there was many that was trying to cherry pick Paul Young. And that he was good for the establishment. He didn't look to be one that would start any trouble, be the big no man. So I've heard in many circles that this was the man that was trying to be cherry picked, especially by the white establishment that didn't want you. Damn sure didn't want Dr. Harrington. And they wasn't sure about JW. Okay? So there are people in the race that's going to have more funds than you. So what is going to be your major focus, Van, in running for mayor of the city? The biggest problem in this city is crime. What is your idea? What is your strategy? What is your plan to reduce crime, especially with our juveniles in the city of Memphis?
Well, it's a two-pronged strategy, and you're going to hear from most candidates. One part of it is you do have to get the ones who will do harm to the community off the streets, and you have to keep them off the streets. So as a lawyer, I'm familiar with some of the process that goes on. I'm happy to see some of the movement that we've seen by the county commission to say that when you have people committing violent crimes over and over again, They don't need to be released back into society. So they're putting forth a plan to strengthen that aspect of what happens with bails and bonds. I'm supportive. But once you get through with all of that, you have to stop the pipeline, because if we lock everybody up that's doing harm to the community now, what stops the pipeline from as far as the 11 and 12 and 13-year-olds from coming right behind these guys, and they start doing the same. And so two-pronged, meaning you got to address, you got to stop the bleeding now, but then you have to make sure that you nip at and eliminate the underlying causes of crime, which, as you know, is poverty. And you address poverty with reinvestment in the community. These communities especially have been disinvested. Reinvestment in our education system. And I think that you have to give our young people options. When you close out every excuse that they will have to go out and carjack, or to break into cars, or to do something stupid, you are now saying to the community that you give a damn, you're concerned about them, and you want to put forth not just talk, but you want to put forth options for them to pursue and utilize, as opposed to turn into a life of crime. And so that looks like an education. When we fund education, what does that mean? That means offering apprenticeship programs. And when young people are in the 11th and 12th grade, you're giving them an opportunity to work jobs and to get certified and have viable incomes when they cross their graduation stage, like many of them are doing right now in the community. When these young people turn 18, they have a certification to be a nurse's assistant. There's a program in Hickory Ridge Mall where after 5 weeks, you can be a CNA, certified nurse's assistant. You can make about $50,000 a year, and you can do better with overtime. So these programs allow people graduating school to go right to work and have a meaningful income that can support them and their families. Well, so those are the type of smart investments I think we need to make. The buildings and the hotels and all that what's been done in Midtown and downtown is beautiful, it's nice, it makes our city looks great. But unless we're taking care of those communities which have been disinvested over years, they're going to come and tear it all down. Because you're not going to be able to go to Midtown and downtown and enjoy the game or enjoy the movies because you're worried about your car getting broken into. So we got to invest in the community. We got to invest in the people. We got to invest in neighborhoods and our young people if we want to see a meaningful change. Everything else is taught. And they know if you're not investing in them, because they look at their schools and see how dilapidated the schools are. They look at the community centers and they see us cutting the hours, or there's nothing in the community centers. There's no services being provided. There's nothing for our young people to do over the summer. And so they know that you give a damn and you care when they see the investment and they see the dollars going into what you say you care about. And I think that's where you're going to start seeing change. It's not going to happen overnight, but I think that's certainly a start. And obviously, we got to talk summer jobs, which is another discussion. The program that Marion Barry used in D.C., and he pretty much turned the whole community around with this summer jobs program. So those are the kinds of investments that I think we should undertake in order to remediate crime and to hopefully prevent it in the years to come.
Well, when we look at this bond program, and now that you can fill out almost a credit application to get out of jail on these bonds, wasn't this new easy bond program put in place by the county commission?
Yeah, and to explain that, it actually, what was done was supposed to have the reverse effect of what we're seeing. So what was done by the commission was that we added more judicial commissioners. We added more judicial commissioners to give better due process to what was going on. It's backwards. You have the nonviolent individuals being kept in jail and the violent individuals being released from jail. And it was because of the overload of cases in front of the judicial commissioners. So what we did on the commission was add 4 more judicial commissioners. And this was supposed to allow better review of these cases, better due process, so that your nonviolent offenders are being released at reasonable bonds, but then your violent offenders should be kept.
Well,
but we don't see that taking place, so that's why the commission has gone back in to put some more guidelines to what's taking place.
Well, I think these new judicial commissioners that you all selected, first of all, basically, I know at least 3 of them lost their own races last year when they were running for judges, and the commission turns around and makes them judicial commissioners, which is, in one sense, they are judges. In the other sense, they are not judges because they're not elected by the people. And you all had a program for $2,088,397.89 to amend your program. But when we go back, Van, and you were on the county commission at that particular time, when we go back and we see you put judicial commissioners there that were letting murderers out on their own recognizance, there was no jail time. The bonds were low. Do we not say that the commission is partly to blame for these criminals being back on the streets?
No, I think that argument is the exact opposite of what the commission resolved to do as a result of a lawsuit. And basically, the lawsuit essentially said, and we were sued by the ACLU, and so we had to start with a lawsuit. And essentially, the ACLU sued the commission, saying that there was not enough in place to give due process, and that was jam logging the system, and we were getting these less desired outcomes as a result. So we added more judicial commissioners to unlog the system, to give more due process. And what was intended to happen was that the nonviolent offenders would get the due process they needed and be allowed out, so you would have the room. Part of it is a capacity issue. You would have the room and the ability to house the more violent offenders who we don't want out on the streets. But there wasn't enough room or capacity to house the ones that needed to be in jail, because the jail was packed with nonviolent offenders, people who didn't need to be in jail, people who had been waiting on jury trials for 5 and 6 years, taking up room. They don't need to be in jail, but this guy that's done carjacked 4 or 5 times, that's who we want in jail.
Yes.
So the system was backed up. So the 4 judicial commissioners were supposed to allow the nonviolent offenders out, so we had room and capacity to house the violent offenders. That was the intent. Now, I termed out of the commission when they appointed the individual, so I never got to see who was appointed. I didn't have a vote. I termed out of my role as a commissioner on September 1, 2022. And so the new commission appointed the 4 new judicial commissioners. And I'm not on the commission anymore, but what I see happening is they have to go back in and tweak it, because our intent was to, again, give due process to where nonviolent offenders were out, they would be out. And so that would give room and capacity to house the violent offenders. And obviously that's not being carried forth, so they're tweaking it some more. But what you're saying is I agree with. We need to make sure that the violent offenders are being housed and are off the streets, but you can't do that if you don't have the room or capacity. And so this was to try to alleviate that issue, and it needs to be tweaked some more. And I'm hopeful that they'll be able to do so.
As we look at Van, and let me say this. Normally, I don't even interview any politician that ain't buying advertising from me. So I'm gonna be looking for your advertising dollars, Van. Also,
yes, sir.
Okay. You said an ice cream or something this evening. You're ringing.
No, I'm getting a little gas, but I'm still here.
Okay. It's no secret that I don't always agree with your politics, and sometimes things that I say about you are not the kindest. But that's the way I feel, and this thing is called politics. The word poly means many. I just don't want you to be one that has many tricks, poly tricks.
Right.
I don't want you to be a poly trickster. And what I see many times, and I'm looking at all of you all that's running for mayor. Mm-hmm. When you look at the number of black men that are running for the mayor of Memphis, do you say that there are too many blacks in the race?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Say that one more time.
I said when you look at we'll probably end up with 10, 11, 12, 13 blacks running for mayor. When you look at that large number, do you think that that's too many blacks running for this office?
To be honest with you, I think it is a lot. And part of what was done in 91, I know you recall the Talib Muhammad case, was that it eliminated runoffs.
Yes.
For at-large council and for mayor. There's still runoffs for single member districts. And so the upshot of it was that we were able to let Dr. Harrington with the plurality vote. But the downside of it now is that once you don't have a people's convention to produce what we would call a consensus candidate, you have the issue of several African Americans running, and we're in danger of allowing our vote to be split. So, I'll be lying to you if I didn't tell you what it was not it wasn't a concern. It is. I think the council put forth an attempt to have a primary and go partisan because the runoffs were essentially outlawed with the Jerome Turner opinion that you heard about today.
Sure.
It was much discussed. And so instead of having to go back to court and open up that federal injunction back from 95, 96, they thought, well, if we switched to having a Democratic and Republican primary, essentially the race for mayor would be a Democratic primary. And all the majority African American individuals, because that's likely what you would have seen, would duke it out in the primary, let the best man or woman win as the consensus Democrat, and then they go on to a general election, and that way you get around the Jerome Turner opinion, but you still have a legal mechanism to call down the numbers. So and that failed.
But what about that
we
black?
are where we are now.
What about that black that votes both Democrat and Republican? You've got a opponent in the race now, and I'm sitting here right now with his voting record, and he votes Democrat, he votes Republican. Last time Trump ran, he voted in the Republican primary. What do you do about the Dixiecrats if you went to that particular method?
you're absolutely right, because you have no mechanism without there being a primary to hold folks accountable who voted for Trump, who was essentially a disaster for this country, and particularly in particular a disaster for African Americans. And so if an individual has supported President Trump and they're offering themselves for election for Memphis mayor, I think that's a huge issue. I think that's a very huge issue. But without a primary for Democrats, there's no way to address that from that angle or perspective. But I think it's still an issue for debate. And when we really get into running over these next few weeks and months, I think all those issues are going to come out, and we'll see who's really for the community from the top down. And that means, if you're progressive and for Black people and Black interests and for moving this community forward locally, that should be mimicked at the state level and federal level. It's a top-down, bottom-up approach.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think if you're not doing that, that's a problem. And I think that's going to be something that comes out as we start the campaign, and we'll see what the community thinks about it.
One of the things I mentioned to you as I was leaving the courthouse after the session today is, when we look at this residence situation, I don't think that the average citizen in the city of Memphis really gives a damn where you really live, as long as you are able to do something to solve their problem. And the problem right now is crime. Okay?
Correct.
And any guy that's running, or a woman, since we got a couple of women in the race, that's running for the mayorship, and you don't have a solid workable, I'm not talking about the cosmetics, I'm not talking about the conversation, I'm talking about you have a program of strategy in place that's workable. We don't want to hear the old political bullshit, vote for me and I'm going to set you free. We want to see programs by people that's running for office. First of all, we want to know what you have done, what you're going to do, and what do you have in place to make it work.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this is not an election for the lip service. I think this is an election for one, who has a proven track record of getting things done, two, what's your plan, and three, are you going to be able to execute? And I think you're absolutely right. People are tired of lip service. People want results. They want action. And they're going to see, and I think they're going to be looking at, what have you done? What are your plans for getting it done? And can you do it? And I think voters are going to make their decision based on that.
When we look at you, what makes you a better candidate than, let's say, a Willie Harrington, a Floyd Bonham?
Mm-hmm.
What makes the public say, well, let's go with Van versus Doc, who's been there for 16 and a half years, run 5 times in a row, 12 years as the superintendent of school, who has, no matter what you think about him, no matter how old you may think he is, has a solid base of support. What makes Van Turner the better candidate?
Right, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for Dr. Harrington. I say him, I think you brought his name up, and for the sheriff. Dr. Harrington was my superintendent when I was in school, and obviously he was my mayor when he won, and after he was the superintendent. And so I think that you know, in the Bible it talks about there's a time and there's a season, and in that scripture it talks about change. There's a season for everyone and everything. And so I think that Dr. Harrington was the right person for that season we were in 91. I think he was superintendent for 12 years. He was mayor for maybe 18 or 19 years. And that was his season. I think that was his time. He fit the bill. He was right on time. And he came in, I think, when the city of Memphis needed him. And he did what he had to do in order to move the city forward at that time and to get things done which needed to be done. And eventually, as all things come to an end, that came to an end when he left the office maybe about a decade or so ago, or maybe a little longer than that period. And so essentially, what I'm suggesting is that it's perhaps time for a new season. It's perhaps time for a new candidate that could draw upon the examples that were set before us 10 and 20 years ago, but maybe closer to the issues which are occurring now. The Gen Zers and the millennials are where we're seeing most of our crime issues. And so while one may say there's nothing new under the sun, there have been some changes from the 1990s, and here we are now in another decade, some 20, 30 years down the road.
So Van, are you saying that Willie Harrington's season is up?
No, what I'm suggesting is it's a new season, and the voters will have to determine the candidate that's right for this time and this season. If the voters determine that Dr. Harrington was right for the season and time in 1991, and he's the right one for this season now, obviously that's the decision that the voters are going to have to make. What I'm suggesting is that it's because it is a different time and season, I offer myself. And what I would tag on to that is say that if we look to the people who are committing the crime in the community, those individuals are within a certain range, and they're of a different time and era than what it was when I was growing up. I mean, just look at it. When I was growing up and Dr. Harrington was my superintendent, we had no internet. We didn't have cable TV as we know it now. We had 5 channels on TV when I was growing up. We played outside. Literally, we played outside. We didn't have Nintendo or Sega Genesis or all the advanced video games that our young people have now. We didn't have the phones we didn't have cell phones back then. It was a pay phone, or you had your home phone, and that was it. And so essentially we are in a different era, it's a different time. And I think that you're going to have a different set of tools in order to reach our young people and to effectuate the change that needs to happen during this time of season. Again, I'm not going to cast any dispersions or talk about individuals that I respect and who are trailblazers in the community. That's not what my campaign will be about. I'm simply offering myself for office to say that perhaps it's a new season, it's a different time. And if you think that I am the one to effectuate the change that needs to happen now in 2023, I'll appreciate your vote and support to mayor. If it is your opinion that the time and season for another candidate is right and proper, I mean, then that's your decision. But I'm not going to sit here and denigrate or downgrade other candidates just to lift myself up. I think the public is sick of it. They don't want to hear that. Every candidate should have the right to run. If they are going to run, you got to have a plan and a platform, the ability to execute, and we'll allow the voters to decide. But I think
But it did sound like a little shade when you went to the scripture about a time and a season.
Right.
Your season don't end, brother, until you die. Okay.
Oh, no. I agree. And so what I'm saying is the distinction that I would have from some of the other candidates is that we are in a different time of season than where we were 20 years ago, and that's a fact.
Of course, that's
called life. And so the question now becomes, which candidate do you think can bring the progress and effectuate the change that you want in this different season? If it is a candidate other than myself, then obviously that's who you're going to vote for. If I have not convinced you that I'm the right candidate for this season.
Well, see, one of the things I have issues with many of you who have held office is that you were on the county commission for 8 years.
Right.
Some of these crime didn't just start since September when you left office. Crime with our young people have been there. So I asked the question, when I look at you who have been in office, why haven't you all created something for our young people or crime programs? I asked the same question yesterday. Someone was talking to me about the sheriff. I said, well, the sheriff is on his second term as sheriff. The sheriff is the highest ranked law enforcement officer in the entire county, which Memphis sits in. I would have liked to have thought that the sheriff would have instrument some other programs throughout the county that where we could talk about the reduction of our crime and our young people getting off the street. I've only started hearing lately about the curfew program that has been on the books for 5, 6, 7, 8 years or longer. And until if you are elected as mayor and you are the boss of the police director, first of all, would C.J. Davis still have a job?
Well, I think that if you're a new mayor coming in, you would be foolish to not ask all of your appointed individuals to reapply for their jobs after your transition team is met and determine the course in which you would take the city. And so to your question of whether or not Chief Davis will have a job, essentially my plan is for none of the appointed individuals to have a job because those were appointees of Mayor Strickland.
Okay.
If they fit within the new transition plan of the transition team, then they would be rehired. But I think that it would be foolish for me to go in and say, well, I'm going to keep individuals and I haven't even had a transition plan or I know which direction in which the city needs to go. Once we transition and we've assessed the departments, assessed the needs of what needs to happen, listen to the community, and we move forward on those bases. So all appointed positions and individuals in those positions, they will be eliminated or, they will be asked to reapply and we'll go forth on those bases. Now, I think Chief Davis has done well in the transparency of taking swift action with officers, releasing the tape, so on and so forth. But obviously we have a $550 million lawsuit, which could essentially financially cripple the city if not handled correctly, that we have to face. And this emanated from her department. So that has to be a consideration too, of leadership and training and all the things which led to this result. So all those would have to be factored in, but I have no plans of guaranteeing any jobs for appointed personnel if elected mayor, because that would have to be a decision that needs to be determined after we determine the new direction of the city and we transition properly some individuals would be rehired, and some individuals would not be rehired. Yeah.
Okay. And that's fair. And I wouldn't, I would look for you to bring CJ back, especially with your involvement with the NAAC, your involvement with Ben Crump, and your involvement with the Tyree Nichols case. I wouldn't look for you to really bring her back on board. I don't like the way she was hired in the first place, but that would be a decision for you and a transition team to make. But I did want to speak to you, especially after the hearing today. And like I say, your attorney, who I've known for a while, argued strong for you. Robert Spence argued well for the sheriff, and naturally Alan Wade, who's an old pro, argued well for the city council's position. And I think that, like I said, I haven't always agreed with your politics, and if you're elected, I probably ain't gonna be elected. Agree with all of your politics, but I did want to talk to you on the air and have a civil conversation. I didn't want to dig no grave for you on there, which I could. I'm good at digging graves.
Right.
I've been around long enough, and you know
Right.
my methods and what I will do on the air and things of that nature. But I did want to hear where you are as for, because today there has to be a sigh of relief, even though I've already got a call that there are some people that want to appeal what happened today. That does not come as a surprise, because I understand in this game we call politics that everybody don't want what we want. Everybody does not want a mayor that looks like the majority of the citizens of the city of Memphis. Some people still want it to be business as usual. Okay.
Right.
Now, when can I get with you about advertising on my show?
Yeah, I can ring you tomorrow over the weekend. I'm in town, and now that this is over with, I can start to refocus on some other things. So I have your number, and I'll reach out to you over the weekend.
Yeah, reach out to me, because you done got what most folk get. I don't interview folk that ain't been by the offering table and paid their tithes and offerings. Praise the Lord.
Right.
But
Yes,
but I, even though you may not be my personal choice for mayor, your advertising is not just for me. Your advertising is all these. I have 3 million people that watch me a year. That's where you're advertising. And this is what this interview says. Well, damn, he may not be all that bad. Let me look at him a little bit closer. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
I get it.
So give me that number I called you on is my personal number. Call me over this weekend and let's talk some figures.
Okay. I'll do it.
Okay. All right, man.
All right. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Van.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And I know that some of y'all were looking for me to tear into Van. He was probably looking for it too. I'm sure he had told some people that he was going to be on my show tonight. No, you don't want to go that now. No, he gonna get you. I know I make money. Praise the Lord. All right, let me get some of these other commercials out of the way. And Then we'll come back and wind the show down. Don't forget Dr. Harrington's kickoff is next Thursday night. So y'all know I will not be here. Right? And I would love to see all of you there. Okay. But I did look at it as a little shade when he went to the Bible says there's a time and a season. Damn, so what's he saying? And Doctor watches this show. And that gonna come up again. I promise you. That's a little shade to me. But I'm gonna take man's money. If he paid the $7,500, I'm sure gonna take his money. Look, I want to see all of you next Thursday night. I'll be there at the Holiday Inn on Central. That may be closer. Some of y'all get to university, so y'all be there too. Ken, we'll be back.
I am very pleased to announce the kickoff of our mayoral campaign, which will be held May 25th at the Holiday Inn University on Central Avenue. This event will be held between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. We are inviting all Memphians to come out. On this occasion, I will share my vision for Memphis. I will also give you an overview of my platform. I'm sure you are aware that our great city is not at a good place, and we need a turnaround. And I want to share with you how we can begin to move Memphis forward. I want to engage the community in my vision and with my platform. So please join us on May 25th to Holiday Inn University between 6 and 8 p.m. We have turned Memphis around before, and we can do it again. Let's do it again.
This is the Cussing Pastor. Are you looking for good furniture to just relax in, or a good mattress to roll in the hay with, or as the young folks say, to get busy in? Well, the place to go is 901 Home Furniture and Mattress, located at 7215 Winchester Road, right across from them other folk that you can go see what they got and come across the street and have their deal beat. At 901, they have every type of furniture piece that you need. They got recliners, they've got sofas, they've got end tables, they've got everything you need. In fact, if you want to put some nice pictures up on the wall, they have that at 901 Furniture and Mattress. One of the biggest features that they have at the 901 is a massage and vibrating chair. It reduces your stress and your anxiety. It eases your back and your neck pain. It even improves your sleep and increases your circulation and range of motion. And ladies, I bet you never had a vibrator this big. At 901, they have mattresses of all types. And I'm talking about name brand mattresses and beds. Ooh, I like this bed. I mean, right now, it's vibrating. And guess what? Ladies and gentlemen, any position you want the bed to be in any position you want to be in, you need to go to 901 and get this mattress right here, or get any of the vast mattresses that they have. The best prices on furniture and mattresses is found at 901 Furniture and Mattresses. In fact, when you come in and tell them that you listen to the Thaddeus Matthews Show, you get the Cussing Pastor discount. Just spin the wheel, and wherever it lands, you get a discount. Remember, credit is not an option. You can get approved for up to $1,000 credit, no matter how bad your credit is, but we hope that it's good or fairly well, but you're still going to be accepted at 901. No credit is needed. So when you're looking for good furniture or a good mattress, the only place to go where you get the best discounts is 901 Home Furniture and Mattresses. They're located again at 7215 Winchester Road, or give them a call at 901-279-8279. That's 901-279-8279.
Are you seeking money for your business? Do you know what it takes to qualify for an important bank loan or line of credit? Do you know what you'll need to become bankable, where banks are literally throwing money at you? The fact is that over 50% of all small businesses fail in the first 5 years. Most must close their doors due to a lack of capital. Corporate Credit Solutions is on a mission to change all of that. We help owners like you qualify for the money they need to grow. Startups and established businesses alike turn to Corporate Credit Solutions to get ahead. Working capital, expansion, marketing and advertising, payroll and equipment will fulfill any professional or personal expense that stands in the way of your goals. Thanks to Corporate Credit Solutions, companies of all shapes and sizes can grow in every direction, ensuring they stay in business for years to come. Our process reveals a clear path to the capital you require. No matter who you are or what you do, we even assist with fixing personal credit. Ready to get approved by Corporate Credit Solutions? Take control of your business before it's too late. Complete your free funding qualification scan at www.prequalifymybusiness.com. Again, that's www.prequalifymybusiness.com.
Hello, I'm Tanya Jones, developer and still full owner of On Demand Pain Relief Rub. It's exciting and humbling to see how On Demand is growing and evolving while still being the same product you trust, purchased, and love. The pain rub is 100% still the same, 100% drug-free, 100% all natural, and I am 100% still involved. I created On Demand Pain Relief Rub after I began suffering with my own chronic pain. And yes, the results have been amazing. You may see the new branding, the new look, and the new website, all coming from me, the same person that has a heart to help others deal with their chronic pain. Go ahead, place your order, or stop by any of the locations to pick up yours. I thank you so much for your support and trust. I am Tanya Jones, 100% owner of On Demand Pain Relief Rub.
So many of our young men and women are being killed on the streets of Memphis, and loved ones are left begging for a way to either bury or cremate them, because while they have insured their cars and their phones, they have failed to insure themselves. Well, there is no excuse. Call Joe with Lincoln Heritage Funeral Advantage. Joe can get your loved one insured for $30,000 for as little as $15 per month. Or even if your loved one is a male between the ages of 18 or 25, he can be insured for $30 per month with a $160,000 accidental rider for only $30. Females, $25. Lincoln Heritage is affordable and has fixed rates, lifetime coverage, no examinations, no waiting period on most cases, coverage for all ages up to 100 years of age, fast claim payments, 24 to 36 hours. Also, Joe has a senior hardship plan, even for fixed income families. Call Joe right now. make sure you put this number down. Joe with Lincoln Heritage, 901-864-0090. That's area code 901-864-0090. Call Joe. When death comes to your family and you're left in charge of putting together a celebration of life program, you want that program to be memorable, beautiful, and to project the marvelous life that your loved one lived. Well, for your funeral program, you don't have to search or look around. You just need to call the obituary queen, D. Ferris of Ferris Media and Marketing and Alpha Omega Monuments. D takes pride in special design and production of your loved one's memorable program. After the funeral and your loved one is buried and you want that burial spot to be memorialized forever, call D for your monument. D. Ferris and Ferris Media and Marketing Management can take care of all of your print needs, both church and professional. And anything that you need, D can get it done. You're looking for a graphic expert? Call D at 901-440-6643. That's 901-440-6643, or go by 2960 Chelsea at Wofford.
It's lunchtime, and I'm inviting you to eat at one of the places that I eat. Crumpy's Hot Wings Midtown. Man, that's a brand that's been in the Memphis area for over 32 years. Located at 1607 Madison Avenue in Midtown. And man, I'm finna have me some lunch. All this chicken. Let me dip a little bit of this chicken in here. Fried green tomatoes. Man, this is good. And I'm inviting you, if you're in the Midtown area, you're downtown Memphis, if you work in the hospitals, you work downtown, you can get as many pieces of chicken as you want, from 5 pieces all the way to 100 pieces. And look, and just looking at here, they get all various flavors. Sweet red chili, honey garlic, sweet teriyaki, zesty lemon pepper, and it goes on. They also have hush puppies. They also have fish. They've got all types of burgers and all types of sandwiches. So for your lunch, the place that you need to go is the place that I come to, and that is Crumpy's Midtown. Y'all excuse me, I ain't got no mouths for to come eating this chicken. Look, if you spend $20, they will deliver to you. They've got, let's see who they got. They got Grubhub. They got, I'm eating this chicken now. This chicken good now. Uber Eats and DoorDash. And guess what? They're open 7 days a week. Monday through Thursdays from 10:30 a.m. to 10 o'clock at night. Fridays and Saturdays from 10:30 until 2 a.m. And on Sundays from 11 o'clock until 7 p.m. Get out of church and come by Crumpets, a name that has been in Memphis for over 32 years. Chicken, French fries, fried green tomatoes. Y'all think how thick that is? An accessory of anything else that you want to eat. Come on, join the custom pastor at Crumpets Hot Wings Midtown. And as I heard somebody say once, you sure will be glad you did.
Step in the doo-doo of life, and you get it all betwixt your toes, and you wondering why your life is stinking. You got doo-doo.
Say it now,
Amen. You got doo-doo all between you, all on the bottom of your feet. Amen. You got your brand new weave on. You got your new outfit on. You think you all of that and a bag of chips, but you got doo-doo between your toes. And I don't care how well you look. I don't care even when you walk into the bank to get yourself some money out the bank. If you got doo-doo on your toes, you gonna stink. All right now. And everybody will know that you're a stinker because doo-doo just smells. But all you got to do now is call on Jesus and let Jesus wash your feet. Let me close this thing. This 51st.
This is Thaddeus Matthews, aka the Cussing Pastor, and I'm inviting you each and every Sunday morning to join me for virtual worship. That's right, you can worship without leaving home. Every Sunday morning on my YouTube channel, just put in Thaddeus Matthews at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time and listen to the Word of God that He's given me to give you. I'm looking for you on this Sunday morning on my YouTube channel from my virtual studios, which is my virtual church, The Naked Truth, Liberation, and Empowerment Ministries. Join me.
Oh, okay. We'll be back. I'm tired. It's 10 o'clock? Oh, okay. Ooh. Sunday morning, I will be here with you. I don't know what my sermon will be Sunday morning. But I'll come up with something for you. You join me at 10 o'clock Sunday morning.
Unknown caller.
Who is this? I don't want to talk to no goddamn bat. The fuck you calling me for? Who is this and what? Who is this and what do you want?
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Who is this and what do you want?
Hello?
I don't want to talk to you back.
Hello?
I don't want to talk.
Hello?
I don't want to talk to you.
Do you got all time?
Do your mama have it?
Hello?
Do your mama have it?
No, man. What the day is? What the day is? I did fuck you Friday?
Huh?
And today fuck you Friday?
Every time I hear you, whatever day it is, it's fuck you
and
day.
And today fuck you Friday, nigga. You can hear me.
Okay. Now it's fuck you if it's a Wednesday.
No, today fuck you Friday.
Okay, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Fuck you under your toenails, motherfucker. Ugh. With the same Whitefield, Tennessee number. Shit. Those of you that enjoy the ministry and you enjoy the education that the ministry brings you about things that are going on in Memphis, give to the ministry tonight. I haven't asked you for something for the ministry in a long time. $ Naked Truth Ministries. Yeah. Go to the Cash App. Get $20, $25. You do know it's tax deductible too. Naked Truth is a 501c3. Go to it right now. Just go. Just give out your heart. $ Naked Truth Ministries. Give something now. Okay? Because I'm going to get ready to go. Yeah, I'm going to get ready to go. I'm tired. Oh. Oh, shit. Why don't you send something now? $ Naked Truth Ministries. Thank you, Iris. I'm going to have to get me another building. Iris, send her $25. Why don't you send yours? Right now. Cash App. $ Naked Truth Ministries. Latoya Cole, thank you here. And I appreciate those of you that support me and this show and these platforms that I'm on. Thank you so much. That's fine, Latoya. So get to the place, it jams up at the end of the show. Oh. All right, let me hit this one over here. I don't know what's getting to be wrong with this equipment. This is the third night that it did this. Fred, I'm coming off there. I'll call you and give me about 5 minutes. Let me do it like this. Good night. Yeah, Iris.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
What's up, baby?
Pastor, what's going on with Comcast? Why they giving you a hard time? Much money you pay them?
I don't know.
It's time for you to think about switching. You know, I got AT&T fiber optic. I don't have no problem. And everything in my house streaming. All the TVs, the game systems, the laptops, and the desktop, we don't get no buffering, and I don't have no problem. And I only pay $89 a month for it.
I might have to change.
Yeah, get the fiber optic. Go to that. I ain't had no problem since when them kids got PlayStation 5, everything in my house started buffering. Because we stream on everything. But once I went fiber optic, I ain't have no more problem at all. And I haven't had any. And all of my TVs, the alarm, everything is on internet.
Yeah, I might have to look into that.
Yeah, look into that because you get them too much money. And then I'll hook you up with my hosting server because I got all the channels, everybody's channels, the stuff at the movies and the pay-per-view, and I don't pay but $48 every 3 months for it.
Well then.
So get with me and let's save some money, baby.
All right, baby.
Okay.
All right, baby.
Bye.